Welcome back, everybody. You're with us here on Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you with us. Of course, you see Decro Paints behind me there in all its glory. Don't forget, of course, Decro has got a store in one city that you can pop in and get whatever it is that you need. Of course, Decro really leading the way in terms of quality paints. Folks, Falsebay was up against St. George's this past weekend. Jerome, for Falsebay, it's been a tricky season.
Yeah, it's been. They were struggling in the beginning, but they're also picking up nicely. And I suppose they're also going to, they pretty much done.
Well,
so,
they finished, yeah.
So,
of course, every team has to take its chance to rebuild. Falsebay has been dominant in the Super League A for quite a while now. It's just a matter of time before you can't stay at the top forever.
No, you can't. And I mean, they had changes with their coaching staff changing. But also they managed to keep most of the squad of last year, and I mean they were the champions. So yeah, it is maybe a little bit of changes in the coaching staff that in the beginning players have to get used to them.
Also some player changes, yeah. Well, let's take a look now at Falsebay highlights against St. George's. Of course, first half. Right, there we go. Falsebay against St. George's. Jerome, your thoughts? Game time?
Yeah, good. A good first half, pretty even also. And one thing that I think that St. George's did this year, which they got right, their set pieces are well organized. I see they stopped the mauls of Falsebay quite well. They contest a couple of times in the lineouts. Their scrums were solid. So, and then their backs can play. So I think the first half was also like good. We saw 2 tries from Falsebay, 1 try from St. George's, and also good to see Flays from Falsebay still playing. Been there for quite a long time. Still had a 60-meter run almost there for them to go score the try. So it's still good to see that the old guys are still playing and helping the clubs. Yeah.
I think the other thing, we didn't have a chance to speak to you last week, but it was last week, it was, or the last game at least, that St. George's played against Marty's. That was a big result for St. George's, coming away, beating top team like Marty's. Then they would have drawn a lot of confidence going into the game against Falsebay.
Yeah, definitely. That was a huge win for them. I don't know. I think it's the first time that they beat Marty's.
Yeah.
I saw some clips of them singing in the change room, which is good. Great spirit there. So that was a good win for them. And yeah, hopefully they were not too relaxed or maybe celebrate too much going into this game. But I can still see that they were still quite competitive in this first half against Falsebay.
But for both of those teams, and when we looked at the barometers, for both of those teams now, the fan factor would have been massive. St. George's, when they played Marty's, big fan factor. And then Falsebay, when they played home against St. George's, for Falsebay as well, big fan factor.
Yeah, you could see the people standing around the field there look pretty even. Like you could see St. George's supporters, they're always there, and then the Falsebay supporters, which is good.
Yeah. Folks, let's just, we'll take a look again at your results then from the weekend in case you missed this. So Tygerberg, of course, with the win over Hamlet, 25-18. Falsebay, 31-14 over St. George's. UWC going down to Brackenfell and then Durban with that win, of course, over Marty's. And then UCT with the win over NTK. Kales River going down to Villages this weekend. Jerome, this is just talking about the Kales River Villages game there. Villages have really made a strong comeback in the last 2 years. They're going to now also be tested, as will the last of the clubs. When we get into our next segment, we're going to talk about these different permutations. But Villages are staying in the mix. Yeah,
it seems like all the new players that came in for Villages now, they start to gel quite nicely. Because they also were struggling a bit in the beginning of the season, but because a lot of new faces playing for them. But it seems like they're picking up and they start to know each other now. So yeah, they are on the lock. So they've still got 2 games left. So maybe they can still make it to be. I think they're going to try to get first, second. Yeah, well,
they have got a couple of points coming their way, as far as we know. Right, folks, well, of course, as you know, MChem 24-hour Farm is on the corner of N1 and Durban Road, on board with Cape Rugby TV. Now, what you should know is that there are, of course, qualified nursing sisters on duty at MChem 24/7. But what you more should know is that MChem, in fact, there you can see MChem right behind me now, is that MChem have, in fact, got a specialized wound care clinic. So if you need to get your wounds dressed, maybe you have an injury, maybe you've just come out of surgery, and you need someone to take care of your wound, then MChem, of course, can do that for you, which means you don't have to go to a doctor necessarily to get a general wound dressing done. So if you've maybe, like I say, surgery or some sort of other injury where you have a wound dressing, then of course MChem has got a qualified nursing sister on duty to help you. That's of course Monday to Sunday from 8 o'clock to 8 p.m. So MChem 24-hour pharmacy, always there for you. And next week, we're in fact going to start telling you a little bit more about the vitality screening facilities that MChem has also got for you. Folks, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking about club rugby. Back in a sec.